You, the illuminated. Don't let them take that away from you. Don't let them call themselves the Illuminati. Don't let them masquerade with our light symbols. Take the light for yourself. Reclaim the light for yourself. You are the illuminated, not them. They're the dark ones. They're the dark ones posing as the light. They're not the light. They're not illuminated.
Right. We are the light. So let's get started on this.
This is a long one, but it's an awesome one.
But it's an awesome one. So I'll take it kind of a paragraph at a time. Chris, welcome to the real game. All the reality you experience throughout your waking day is the result of your own mind activity plus your inner core beliefs on what real reality is supposed to behave like. At all times, your subconscious software is listening to you, what you say about the state of your daily life, and most importantly, the chatter in your monkey mind. They determine the frequencies your electromagnetic body is emanating at all times. Based on that, the Matrix graphics card renders what you call your now moment in reality. Every event taking place in your life at any given moment is being created or rendered several times per second for your raw consciousness to experience. It is what we know as the double slit experiment. Just a very sophisticated graphics card rendering at a very high resolution of pixels. Do you understand? There's only one consciousness rendering. All the rest are NPC, including your own body. The only thing that is real within the construct you live in is your awareness that you exist. You can shape and reshape whatever you want in your life experience. You've been doing it since you arrived into the Maya game. You have not been aware of that, but all the reality you've been experiencing all your life has been handmade by your subconsciousness, picking what your consciousness takes as truth at any given moment and comparing it with whatever settings you hold as core beliefs of what is or is not possible in your particular model of reality. The Matrix graphics card machine that renders your reality is neutral, not polarized, if you want to think in Gnostic terms. The machine is your karma. It renders back into your experience whatever frequencies you are holding in your now moment.
Perfectly said.
That is how you bend reality. You imagine the final outcome, fine-tune yourself to the matching frequency, and there it is before your eyes. That is why Jesus said the heavens are inside of you, and also said, so within, so without. You hold good vibes, it renders good vibes. You dare to hold fear, sense of lack, sickness, and pain, and the machine projects that back to you. You can choose to project your loved ones totally healthy like Jesus did. You just have to find the right frequency pitch that matches the picture you're holding in your mind. This is done by controlling your emotions. And the most important rule of all, you have to be aware that you are what I name the master builder of the piece of the matrix that is being rendered for you to be immersed in.
Wait a minute. Okay, who's this person?
Clara Cuzio.
Clary
Cuzio.
Clary Cuzio.
All one word.
I need to talk to this guy.
Yeah.
Because it sounds like me talking here. Like, totally resonating 100% with everything. I didn't mean to interrupt. I'm just really blown away at how on point this person is.
I love how he said the master builder of the piece of the matrix that is being rendered for you to be immersed in.
That's exactly what I've said over and over and over. We become the master builders of our own reality. And, hearkening back to Masonry, I think the progression of Masonry is that eventually you realize that you are the great architect. It is you. It is your consciousness. Masons would disagree with me on that, though. Like, I've had my head chopped off for saying stuff like this on Facebook. But then the true esoteric ones, like Robert Sullivan, is like, no, you got it. So, yeah.
All your world is a stage, a projection, just like you did with the Keys incident. You master the universe by mastering your inner core self. Everything around you are 3D composites in a tesseract-shaped matrix designed for your raw consciousness to be immersed in. That is why the Gnostics and the Masons have this thing about the cube. Your entire life is happening inside that cube. Maybe there are people outside of the cube watching your game, like in that book your wife read about the game of life. I don't know. I just wonder if I don't know what is outside the matrix. I hoped you knew it. Maybe I am alien shaped, and this human shape is just a design that only exists within this matrix and not outside. That much I don't know. All I know is that my entire life has followed a very much alive and creative path than everybody I personally ever met. Now, when I look back, I totally understand why. Maya is the fake construct. You call it the virus overlaid on top of Gaia, which is the original matrix. We call it Mother Nature, with which we are to be grounded. The most important thing in this reality is not money. It is the control over the energy of anyone that is a creator, a master builder, raw consciousness. They power the matrix. All this construct is powered by your own electricity. It is your personal graphics card rendering your personal settings of your imaginated now moment.
Yep. Remember, we were saying this exact thing, same thing a few months ago.
Yep.
Awesome.
We're the batteries.
That this machine is using us as the batteries.
Right. Whatever you focus on in your mind with enough energy is bound to be rendered. The mirror ball effect. They power the matrix. All this construct is powered by your own electricity. Is your personal graphics card rendering your personal... Oh, I already read that. Whatever you focus... He didn't put any spaces here. So, whatever you focus on in your mind with enough energy is bound to be rendered with the mirror ball effect for you to experience. That is why you guys talk about non-duality, not polarizing in order to not see rendered. The moment you polarize, you take to one side, the one order to be rendered. This is a new level in the game, Chris. You can do a lot more than just fixing keys. You see, NPCs do not render or create. They are rendered along with the rest of the 3D happening around you. It is raw consciousness that holds the graphics card that is rendering the entire part of the matrix surrounding you at all times. Wow. The Illuminati are NPCs. That is why they need us to be fed all the fake news about terrorists, etc. They need us to be oblivious to the fact that it is only when we believe that the TV news incident really took place, then it will have become a real thing that actually happened to people.
Ooh.
Oh, that's opening a whole new
that's something we have speculated on time and time again.
Yeah. Wow. Take a better look at the delayed choice experiment. Raw consciousness is the creator of all reality, being rendered for it to experience. The machine has been created to serve us master builders. All around you is just 3D teasing you to focus your point of attention in following the white rabbit down some kind of hole, like flyers in your mailbox designed specifically to trigger the frequency for you to feel teased about its narrative. Like they say, energy flows where focus goes. You are inside a realm in some sort of energy or sandbox that much you know, floating in a ram stick, the infinite field, and it is up to you to focus on what you want be experienced, rendered within it. As you follow along the Mason's rabbit hole, you come across symbols, shapes, and themes that they use. They may mean nothing to your Chris self, but they may mean a lot to your subconscious self that is always listening to your mind.
Interesting. I get the feeling like this guy's a Mason.
Yeah, me too. Whatever crosses the conscious blocking filter of true or false is a good to-go narrative or storyline bound to be rendered. Then you end up rendering stuff that has passed through your conscious blocking filter, and you are not even aware of it. The code arrived at the rendering software in a subliminal fashion, built in that geometry the Masons use. Those are programming codes, algorithmics, and functions.
Mm-hmm.
Narratives.
I've realized that time and time again. Mm-hmm. Geometry is the base of everything because geometry manifests itself into practical geometry, which we find in the physical realm, mm-hmm. and on the deeper realm, this is made up of sacred geometry, mm-hmm. which ultimately is the computer code itself, which is manifesting in front of us.
Right.
This guy's totally on point.
Mm-hmm. Narratives being rendered by us raw consciousness, for them New World Order Illuminati guys. As an unaware creator, one follows the storyline. They use us to create reality based on our ability to create, but our disconnection from our understanding that we are the creators. So yeah, the only way they're able to use that is to use us to do that is if we're completely unaware that we even have that ability.
Yes.
Yeah. As an unaware creator, one follows the storyline they Masons lay for us to decode. As we decode them, we construct them in our minds. We believe them to be real, and so we feed them 3D life in our share of the matrix. We have never been a victim of life. We have been victims of our unawareness.
Yes. Yes.
Mm-hmm. You end up working for them. Remember the 500 million on the guide stones in Georgia? I suspect those are the necessary observers or players or raw consciousness they need unaware to render the entire planet at all times.
I said that as well. I said 500 million is the amount of organic consciousness that exists in this particular field. And then other people chimed in and said, no, it's more like 144,000. And then we even got estimates as low as 10,000. So
Right.
it's totally up for debate. But my first instinct was that 500 million mark, which is echoed in this guy's understanding of things too. So interesting. I mean, when you think about the dynamic, though, 7 billion or 8 billion or 9 billion, however many we're up to now, versus 500 million. I mean, we're talking about a fraction.
A fraction of a fraction.
Yeah.
Of the population, yeah. Everything else is just NPCs made to interact with the creator. Can be brother, son, friends, you know that. NPCs are the ones that die in tragedy, wars in the Middle East, etc. They're just 3D.
Right.
The demiurge.
I felt that, but I've never actually said
yeah,
that.
I've never said that either.
Yeah.
But yeah,
because that doesn't happen to organic consciousness.
No,
that
kind
of stuff.
Seem to, no.
I mean, maybe an organic consciousness gets swept into some of this stuff sometimes, but I think for the most part, it's a puppet show.
Yeah, for the most part, I think so too. The demiurge or the machine needs game players to keep the simulation going on. When you don't manage your point of directed focused attention, you end up rendering unwanted frequencies. Then you become the Ouroboros, eating its own tail, fighting against itself, being defeated by its own reflections, trapped in its own creations. Up until today, when I saw this video, I have never found a creator like the one I came to understand I am. I mean, still alive. All spiritual leaders and illuminated ones I've seen came to be proven NPC, just some very well elaborated narratives, disguising the oneness, love, and light agenda in the matrix game of life.
Yep, exactly. I would go so far as to say that the gurus that are trying to create followers are the clear indication that it's an NPC guru or leader or something like that, which is why my focus is creating leaders, creating leaders.
Inspiring them, yeah. The oneness talk is the demiurge, what you call the hive mind. The NPCs share a one mind. A master builder runs on its own fuel. It is a solo flyer. So far, I have... Yep.
Wow, this dude's really put it all together here.
So far, I have failed to prove to myself that there is any other creator sharing my reality. Every single human being that I know seems to be unaware or totally oblivious of the games being played. I don't know the exact word, as it seems that every single human being I know lives by a sort of ISO script that is totally predictable by me, and I'm the only one aware of it.
You know what's funny?
So true.
Is I feel that, I mean, the only organic consciousness in my immediate sphere right now is Sheree and Brent Thomas.
Yeah.
That's it. Everybody else is long distance. Everybody else is, we have to connect through different means because
Digital
we're scattered all over the world. Frank and I were just talking about this just the other day, how we had to be strategically placed into different parts of the matrix to make the biggest impact. We couldn't be all in one particular group. So, yeah, it's funny how that happens. But no, you're absolutely right. Like it seems like 99.99999% of the people I meet out there, at least in real life, are NPCs. And
yeah, me too. Yeah,
it's this is why I've learned to be a chameleon, and I've learned to, when I'm in a certain circle, interacting with that certain circle, I don't drop all this stuff on them.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, and I often make the joke, like, I hope that they don't look me up on Facebook and YouTube, because if they do, then that's it.
Yep.
Because this is where you get my raw consciousness.
He doesn't hold back.
Right.
Here. I don't know how to put it into English words. He's not even an original English speaker.
Wow.
So,
well, he's put it into great words so far.
Yeah. Therefore, throughout my life, people around me always believe that I'm smarter or luckier than the others and my friends. It has never been about me being smarter than the others. I am the creator. I am tapped into a different origin of awareness. I have access to the master field of information. I have imagination. They are just 3D graphics running some very sophisticated script in order to mimic human behavior. They cannot imagine. If you really are raw consciousness, what I call a master builder, then you'll come to understand what I'm talking about. When you come to realize this, I mean, prove it to yourself. Life totally upgrades. There are many ways to hack into the software running the quality of your renderings, your creations, the subconscious self software. Remember, everything in here is the construct. Find the best way to hack into yours, or best yet, assume the same perspective you did when you found yourself rendering the keys incident, and build up the best creations for yourself and the ones you love. We are the creators. I totally recommend you this Netflix movie trailer. You will know why and why you will watch the movie.
What's the Netflix?
It's Other Life on
Other
Netflix.
Life.
Yeah, Other Life. We're going to have to watch that.
Yes. First of all, bravo
Thank
for
you.
that awesome,
That was
insightful email.
Wow.
I resonate with that 99.99999%.
Yeah, me
and
too.